Here we go. God damn. I should not have gulped that water right before this. Sounds like too bright.
There she is.
Hi, Mum.
Hi,
David,
Mama.
Angela's here. Come on in, Poppet. Good timing. Dinner's nearly ready. Made your favourite?
I'd be like, why are y'all playing this music? This just seems creepy. I mean, it's a pleasant song, but movies and TV shows have ruined it because they've always played it during creepy
So,
scenes.
how have you been keeping, Poppet?
Yeah, I've been fine.
There she is.
Hi, Dad.
How's my girl been?
Oh, she's fine.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
That's good.
How have you both been?
Yeah, we've been great.
Really good.
This is so awkward.
You know, for a minute there, we were starting to worry that you were going to cancel on us again.
Yeah, I know.
I guess like most
Don't be sorry.
Oh, we
family
quite
gatherings,
understand.
there's always some awkwardness.
Time is important.
I think when you're processing...
Can we not? I mean, I just rather we didn't.
Yes, of course.
That's completely understandable.
Can we not? Okay. She's sitting there by herself.
Here we are.
Oh. Why had that startle me?
You know,
Thanks.
usually your mother and I would reserve a bottle like this for special occasions.
Perfect for breaking awkwardness. Alcohol.
But then I thought, you know what? For our Lauren,
The
we
fuck?
can make an exception.
Angela. We can make an exception for Angela.
Dinner's ready.
Ah, smells lovely, Sue.
Let's hope it tastes as good as it smells. As promised, your favourite.
It's promised.
Tuck in, everyone.
Don't need to
There's
celebrate
just a chicken thigh and leg and potatoes, string beans.
Yeah, I'm good.
You haven't touched your food.
Usually you'd have that chicken ate before it had even touched the
It
plate.
used to be a nightmare to get you to eat anything else.
That's right. If you'd had your way growing up, we'd have had roast chicken.
Vegetarian.
Since when?
Since forever. You know this.
How can you be a vegetarian if you love roast chicken?
I don't.
Gee, I
Yeah,
don't.
sure.
Well, I'm
Obviously.
pretty sure
Are
I
you
know
sure?
what my daughter's favourite meal is.
Are you
It's not
sure?
It's not my favourite meal.
See how they
Doesn't
look at her.
understand.
This is funny because I've actually seen this happen in people's houses where I've been over friends, families, Thanksgiving or family gatherings, where it's always somebody who's either vegan or vegetarian, and they weren't apparently the last time they had a family gathering, and people, oh, we get this, and they try to, like, especially in the South, I've noticed this. They try to get people to eat. Like, oh, yeah, some meat. Like, I've even had this with pork. Now, I've never eaten pork because I was raised Muslim. So, I've never eaten pork, nothing like that. I've had family members try to get me to eat chitlins. It's, oh, just put a little hot sauce on those. I'm like, I don't eat pork. Like, it's like, and some of them, like, that, like I'm not really a practicing Muslim. I haven't been for years, but like they don't know that. But that I'm a Muslim. At least I was raised that way. So I don't eat pork. So I was like, why? So why you keep trying to get me to eat like you? Also, I only got pork chops and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, don't nobody eat chicken? I thought chicken was like the base thing. Like, yeah, I've been to places or family events where it's like, yeah, none but pork. So I guess I just eat the vegetable. And then they only got a few vegetables. They have like, fried okra or string beans or some. I've been to quite a few family gatherings. They're not really reunions, but it's like the family in a certain area or more mainly gather. They'll tell everybody. So some people would travel. Like I've been to, we used to have like little gatherings in I forget. I know it was in Georgia. Is it Stone Mountain? Is that I'm forgetting because it wasn't in Atlanta. I think it was Stone Mountain, some Georgia. I've been there a few times, and for some reason I can't remember if that's what it. Because now I'm thinking about Spokane, Washington, but I've never been to Spokane, Washington. But I have family up there. But we used to go to Georgia, and we have like kind of like a family reunion almost. But it was like, hey, we let everybody know. But it was mainly the family that lived either in Georgia or in the neighboring states. But some people would travel, from, all over. And we lived in Mississippi, so we would go. And I remember the same thing happened. It was somebody's grandchild. And they were like, I think they were like 16, because at the time I was 16. Yeah, she was 16 too. Yeah, because we was hanging out in the back, and she said she was 16. And she didn't eat meat. Now, she ate chicken. She wasn't a vegetarian, but she just didn't eat red meat. So she only ate like chicken and fish, stuff like that. And they started like kind of getting on her, like the older people, just kind of getting on her tail. And her mom was like, they were trying to give her, I don't remember what type of meat they were trying to give her. I think it was just ribs or something. And she's like, oh, she don't eat red meat. She don't eat red meat. That was the first thing I said. I'm just like, why can't you just respect people's, dietary habits? They don't eat meat. Fine. They vegetarian. Fine. They vegan. Fine. Like, why you gotta be weird about it? It's like they take offense. They say, oh, you don't want to eat my food. I said, no, I just don't want to eat the meat part of your food. Like, you have fish, stuff like that. My dad, he would try to be accommodating to people he cooked. He cooked fish. He cooked, steak. He cooked ribs. Mainly he cooked, for the most part, chicken. Because, usually people will eat chicken. So, like, even people the most, unless they are straight up, vegan or vegetarian, most people will eat chicken. Like I eat red meat sometimes. Mainly I eat chicken. And usually because it's cheaper. But that's a different issue. That's not a dietary thing. That's a monetary thing. And like my mom, she don't eat. My mom, my older brother, they don't eat red meat. They started eating red meat years ago, I think. My mom started eating red meat like right after I left. Me and my dad left. So, and my brother kind of followed suit like a few years later. So they haven't eaten red meat in like 20 years. But it's like, you love this. You love this. This is your favorite. Like, no. And she's like, I'm a vegetarian. Sounds like she's been forever. And then they try to force your kid, like, to eat your way. I was like, oh, you a vegetarian? Okay, I get it. Is if you're in a house and you're like, oh, now I gotta prepare stuff a different way. It's like, hey, you in the house with meat eaters, or you in the house with vegetarians, whatever. Then you just be like, hey, I'm gonna make this for you, and this is for us. Simple. Or this is for me. It's simple. Reminds me of the Simpsons when Lisa became vegetarian, and they tried to force basically like, but one thing about Lisa though, she tried to force her beliefs on. They didn't really try to force. They didn't kind of make fun of her, but especially Bart. But she tried to force her beliefs on them because she felt she became vegetarian because she went to that petting zoo. And they had lamb the next day, and she like fell in love with this lamb at the petting zoo, and it was like, oh, this lamb is the same as that lamb, and she couldn't eat another animal, and they tried to force that on everybody else. Like, you shouldn't eat meat and stuff like that. Which is, I'm like, your dad is Homer Simpson. Like, you'd be easier to put the sun out than to stop him from eating meat or drinking beer. But yeah, that was more so on her. She was actually what I'm talking about with people who eat meat. People, oh, I'm a vegetarian or vegan now, and they try to be judgmental. That she was the actual judgmental person because she was vegetarian and didn't want anybody else to eat meat around her.
Just eat around the chicken. It's no big deal.
She just like stared. She's like, I've been a vegetarian forever. Like, how do they not know?
Laura, love, do you mind passing this?
Angela, Dad. My name is Angela.
What is going on here?
Doesn't matter.
What's my volume? So I turned it up.
Mum, how did you do the potatoes? They taste amazing. Mum?
Everything's ruined.
What? No, everything's fine. Like I said, it's not a big deal.
I'm not talking about the fucking dinner.
So, Dad, how are things at work?
Well, funny you should ask, actually.
Jesus! Dad!
Why did you cancel last week?
You know why.
Reminder.
Dad, look, I think...
Answer the fucking question!
I wasn't ready.
What about the week before? Where were you then?
I needed time.
What about the week before that?
Okay, look.
What about the funeral?
Look, I'm sorry. I've not been here recently. But I'm here now, so can we please just focus on that, being here together. Like a
People
normal
grieve in
family.
a different way.
You see, Laura,
Angela! Dad, not fucking Lauren,
Laura.
Angela!
we can't go back to normal.
Not after what you did.
It was...
An accident, yes, we know. But do you ever wonder?
What if I'd taken a bit more care on the road?
What if I had
Oh,
swerved
that was like
sooner?
his sister.
What if I hadn't asked my sister to come with me to get away from the parents for a bit?
Stop.
You know who'd really appreciate a roast chicken dinner? Lauren.
It was her favourite.
Can we please?
God, I wish you died instead of her.
Damn.
What did you say?
It was her favourite.
Not you.
It was
Why
Laura's
did you
favorite.
come here?
I came, I want... I just want things to go back to the way that they were. I want to be able to
Wait,
forget
why
about
did
it
he
So
just...
you can feel less guilty.
His
so we
head
can
slammed
move
on the
so
table.
that we can move on.
Is there like a ghost in here? Oh, it's just like this the injury she had in the car accident. Is she in hell? Or is this like in her head? She just feels. Like this feels like hell. She just reliving this accident over. Is I'm on fire? Or is that rain? Y'all didn't have y'all seatbelts on?
Where am I?
Yeah, it appears so.
It's hurt. What did you do?
Now, but how about we get out of the car? Running from what? It was a car accident. Was she drunk or something? I don't.
You were trying to wear me. Oh, you won. I'm just kidding. I'm coming back.
I feel like this is just about grief. Unless this is some type of paranormal, like, situation.
Until there's nothing but you. Jenna, please.
Is she like?
I just want to go home.
Is she schizophrenic?
I'm sorry.
Is she like
Lauren can't
seeing
go
shit?
Lauren's gone. And you're not Lauren.
Okay, maybe this is. Okay. I was like, maybe she was seeing things in the accident and killed her sister. Okay, maybe she not. I wonder if this is the thing where her sister died and this is in time past she committed suicide. And this is her reliving that. Or this is like in her head. And she's reliving it. She's like in some, maybe she was in like a mental institution or something. She still hasn't quite gotten over it. Because I'm just looking at the first part where she's in the house. I'm like, okay, did that happen? Like, did this happen? Like, what? Like some Silent Hill shit. Like, you don't know what's real or what's not.
You okay, love?
How about, I'm just peachy. Okay, maybe that was happening to her head.
No.
Okay, she was just thinking about it. Okay, I get it now. Okay. And she's finally coming, saying, no, I'm not okay. Like, she's pretending to be okay, trying to run away from it. And she's finally just admitting that she isn't okay. And actually now, because I think they talk about how, like, how like admitting it and is a step to dealing with the grief. If you don't admit it and you just kind of bottle it up and try to hide it away, you'll never deal with it and it'll just keep eating at you. And some people deal with it differently. They get depressed or they get violent, stuff like that. They rely on drugs, they let escape, or they'll dive into other things. Like some people dive into their job, and they'll, people, oh, well, they getting promoted because they just devote. But do you look at it, and all they do is their job. They just devote everything to that, and they push everything else out. They just push their family out, kids if they haven't, and it's just their job because that is what keeps them going. Kind of reminds me of just thinking about Lethal Weapon with Riggs when his wife died. He said he wanted to kill himself. I mean, hell, in the beginning of the movie, you see him put a round in the trigger, around in the barrel, and he like puts it to his head, like he's gonna blow his brains up, but then he can't. And he told Murtaugh later on, he said the reason I didn't do it, he's like, I got a special bullet for it. The reason I don't do it is because of the job. He doing the job. He always wanted to be a cop. He enjoys being a cop, even though his wife is dead. And then you find out like, oh, what was it, the second one? Where he said they were supposed to meet for dinner, but he got like backed up at work and he completely forgot about it. So he said she waited there. He's like, I guess she just got tired of waiting and went home. And that's when she got in an accident, stuff like that. But then you find out later that she was ran off the road by people that was trying to kill him. But she was in, I guess, I don't know, his car or a car that was in his name. So they thought it was him. And he said, and the guy was all surprised when I pulled back a bunch of bloody hair to find a woman's face and not yours. And she said they sat there till she choked to death on her own blood and died. But it's like that where he grieved, because a lot of people look at like, oh, if it's alcohol or drugs or something like that, that people are grieving and they start relying on that, that's a bad thing. But if you jump into even people who like, you know what, somebody that they grieving or whatever, and then they go into some type of hobby and they devote all their time to that hobby, or even just, well, I'm gonna live life to the fullest, and they start doing a bunch of just random shit. That can be a cause for concern as well, but a lot of the people don't look at that as a cause for concern, because they're like, oh, it's not. They don't look at it like the same way they do with drugs or alcohol, or someone who starts to develop anger issues or depression, and then, which is the same thing even with depression. You start pushing people away from you. You want to be by yourself. You're not going out, not going out hanging with friends, stuff like that. You just only stay to yourself forever, because you don't want to deal with anything. But all that, like I said, even stuff that could be deemed like positive, like I said, people dive into their jobs and they just devote themselves to that thing to make the pain go away, because I can just focus on this, I won't think about that. That can be detrimental too, because you're still pushing people away, you're still pushing relationships away, because all you're doing is now focusing on this one thing, But anyway, this has been Dr. Oitis. If you enjoyed my reaction, give it a thumbs up right down below. Make sure to subscribe when you're here. Hit that bell if you notify when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.